Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Saturday, it's September 3rd, and welcome to Labor Day weekend. I hope you've got something planned if you're living in the States or in Canada. I wanted to just welcome you to Mornings with 60 and Me today. I am having my Saturday morning cup of tea. I've got my very classic and elegant Lady Grey tea, and it's really lovely. It's a good morning breakfast tea. So hope you've got a cup of tea, a cup of coffee ready, and I'd like to bring you up to speed on what's going on in the world and get you ready for this long weekend for those of you who are in the States and Canada. And I'm going to celebrate sort of vicariously through you too. I kind of follow the holidays around the world since I've lived in so many places. I just celebrate everything. So anyway, I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for being here. And I want to remind you all that I really appreciate your support for Mornings with 60 and Me. I hope that you like it. If you can leave us your feedback, tell me what you like about this morning show, what you'd like to see that we're not doing, and just give me some feedback. I really would appreciate it. And if you would like to get the news first, just go up to 60andme.com/mornings, and then you'll get the news first. And tell a friend. This is a perfect weekend to share Mornings with 60 and Me with a friend. All right, so let me bring you up to speed on some of the news. Well, as I mentioned, today is the beginning of the Labor Day weekend, long weekend for the United States and Canada, and it really starts today. And there's going to be all kinds of activities, barbecues, parades, street parties. And, it is your last chance, if you follow the fashion rules, to wear white. So just go crazy today, wear your white clothes and celebrate. And of course, I'm just joking. You can wear white any day of the year that your heart desires. But today is traditionally the day the last day you can wear white. It's now officially getting into autumn. Summer's over and we're now moving into a brand new season. I don't know about you, but I love the seasons. I lived in Canada as a child, and I really appreciated that very distinct line between, winter, spring, summer, autumn. Just lovely. But anyway, so, celebrate. Have a great Labor Day weekend. And of course, the official day is Monday, the 5th, but you can start today. Start the party early. Now, weather is going to be a big issue in a lot of parts of the United States this Labor Day. Hurricane Hermine passed over Florida. Lots of damage, just, lots of rain and power outages, damage to property. And now it's moved down to the Carolinas. So that's another place that will be affected this weekend before it heads out to the Atlantic Ocean. So, rough seas this Labor Day weekend. So just take care. Now, in other parts of the world, in South Korea, Samsung is dealing with a huge PR and product challenge. We're about to release a new phone called the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. And this was meant to compete with the new iPhone product, which is meant to be coming out in the next week or so. And it, big hype, lots of PR. And then what happened is people around the world started reporting that their Samsung Galaxy Note 7 was bursting into flames when it was being charged. And of course, the battery was burning. So they've had to recall all these Galaxy 7 Note. I'm going to make sure I get it right in case you've got one. It's a Galaxy Note 7 phone, and they're being recalled. And I don't know. They're obviously going to have to replace them and fix the problem that they're having with the batteries overheating. But that's another big problem for Samsung. In Pakistan, other parts of the world, continuing violence. There's a town called Mardin, which has been attacked by Taliban forces. They're attacking the courthouses and things related to the lawyers. And if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, there were 15 attorneys were killed in a suicide bombing. But another bombing happened yesterday in a court building in Mardin, and there were, I think, 13 people were killed, 50 were injured. Pakistan, again, under incredible pressure to find balance and order in their world. And in the Philippines, there was an explosion yesterday in a town which is the president's hometown, President Duterte. He was there with his son, but he wasn't injured in this explosion. There were 14 people killed, however, and I think quite a few, maybe 70, were injured. 70. The blast, the cause of the blast, or the responsibility, is unknown. There's a lot of people who don't like the president because of his stand on, well, both IS. He's trying to, clear out IS from his country, and also drug cartels. He's the president, if you remember, who's had a lot of criticism about his very, very heavy-handed dealing with drug dealers and the drug cartels. So that's another bombing in a town called Davao in the Philippines. Now, one quick news item I wanted to share with you, because for me it's really important that we get this issue resolved, and it's the migrant and refugee community in Calais, which is in France. This is the closest point to getting to the United Kingdom from France. There's a ferry and that goes across, and there's been thousands of migrants and refugees camping there for years, and the French government has tried to clean it up and move them out or move them to a new location. But a lot of these refugees and migrants want to go to England, to the UK. They don't want to stay in France. So every time they're relocated in France, they just move back to Calais. Anyway, the government now is saying, that's it, we're done. We're really going to start to clear this camp in Calais. And it's so delicate because there are, I'm just remembering the number, 8,000 people living now in that camp. So they're going to have to find homes for them. And as I said before, they don't want to be in France. They want to be in the UK. And the UK government is not willing to take them in and even discuss the possibilities of taking them in. So that's going to be a challenge for France and for the UK. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention again, because it isn't just Italy and Greece and Southern Europe that are dealing with the migrant and refugee issue. It's in the UK, it's in France as well. Now, I wanted to tell you a little story here. It's not a big news item, but it's just kind of a reminder of something that we talk about quite a bit and I'm passionate about. Now, President Obama is doing some visits to various U.S. territories around the world, and he actually visited a little town called Midway. Now, this is an island. I think only about 100 people live there. It's a tiny little island in the South Pacific. It's a United States territory. And it actually has a military base there, and also a refuge for birds, and a sanctuary. And he was there, and the story that I read was about how this island is kind of a microcosm of the problem that we have with plastic, because they have a big population of albatross birds. And these birds are kind of scavengers, and they go out into the ocean and gather up stuff and they come back and make nests, and but of course what they're picking up is everything we threw away, which is plastic. And the number is incredible. They bring in 5 tons of plastic to the island every year. And it's not the plastic that we use, our bottles and all these other plastic products, don't just disappear when we throw them in our garbage. They get recycled a lot in many cases, but a lot unfortunately ends up in the ocean. And it's becoming a real issue. And when I read this story about Midway, it just made me realize it's a big issue. When I was in Bali, huge issue, the beaches, the sea, and of course it also gets pulped into tiny little pieces of plastic, so birds eat it. They don't know what it is, and then they of course die. So it's a big issue. Climate change and the way that we're treating our planet, I think there's lots of room for improvement. And maybe you agree. Just leave your comments below if you've got any thoughts about this. Just write it down now. This is your space. This morning show is really for you too. So if you've got any comments about any of these issues, just type away. Let's start a conversation. Now, I wanted to mention just one final thing, and it's we have lots of really great writers, and I interview a lot of wonderful people on 60andMe. And I came across an article yesterday. I was just thinking about a lot of women in our 60s are living longer. We're feeling strong and fit. We want to travel. We want to buy things to make our lives fun. Just want to have a little bit of extra cash. And a lot are working, are collecting pensions or Social Security and looking for part-time or even full-time work. And a lady who writes a blog called FeistySideOf50.com. Her name is Mary Eileen Williams. Lovely lady. I interviewed her several times. I wrote about this and about how we can either believe the myth that there is no work for women over 50 and be afraid, and actually be afraid of the ageism that we expect is there to hold us back, or we can try to change things. And she writes some really great articles, and I've got one I'll link to in this article about the things that we should be doing to try to change society's perception of older women. Now, there's plenty of us women who don't want to work. We're done. We've done our years of work in the corporate world, and we want to retire, and that's totally okay. But if you need a little extra money, you've got a need for your budget is needing a bit of a boost. Mary Eileen has a great blog on just things you can do and how you can learn to establish confidence in your ability, be proud of the experience and the skills and the networks that you've built over the years, and how you can present that in your resume and in an interview, whether it's part-time or full-time. The world is changing. We're dealing with companies that are looking for different things in people. It's not the same, prescriptive list of checklist. You've got to be creative. You've got to know technology. Really, you have to be comfortable with technology. It's everywhere. You have to know how to use the networking sites like LinkedIn and others where you can promote yourself and make connections. So I just would encourage you that if you are looking for work, check out Mary Eileen's site, Feisty Side of 50, and also lots of others, and our articles as well on 60andMe, to give you that extra confidence to go out there. Be proud of, hold your head up and be proud of what you've got to offer. If you want to work, there are ways to do it. And of course, there's always the entrepreneurial route if you're inclined to start your own business. But we've got lots of resources for you. And if you've got questions, please, again, put them in the section below. Let's have a conversation about ageism in the workplace. Have you experienced it, in your previous job or in what you're doing now? And what advice do you have? What did you learn from it? So anyway, that's my work-related article today. So I'd like to just make sure that you all know again how to sign up for these Mornings with 60andMe. Just go to 60andme.com/mornings. And you'll just get an email to tell you when the news is released. You'll get the news first. And also it'll give us some support to us and tell us that you're enjoying what we're doing here with Mornings on 60andMe. So have a great Labor Day weekend. I hope that you have a fantastic Saturday and that the whole weekend is wonderful if you're living in the States and Canada. And if you're not, just celebrate anyway. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the life that you have created for yourself. And I want to end with a question. And I'd love you to just tell me and us what you're doing this Labor Day weekend. What plans have you got for your Labor Day weekend? And, just share are you going to spend it with family, with friends? Is there a parade in your town? Maybe you're going to go to a barbecue, or there's just something fun you're planning. Just share it in the comments below. What are your plans for this Labor Day weekend? Take good care, everyone. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you all again tomorrow on Mornings with 60andMe. Bye for now.